Hello there. Today we're going to look at how to salvage an old insect collection. A few years ago, my high school zoology teacher asked me if I wanted to take this old insect display case off of his hands. So it's got a lot of damage to it. You can see there's some water stains. It looks like some of the specimens have some sort of mold or mildew on them, and it's also not really preserved that well in that instead of the typical pinning system, these are just pressed into cotton. Also, none of them have labels or dates on them, so they're of no use to science, and this is not a particularly aesthetic display, but I am hoping to be able to turn it into something that would look nice on a wall. I've not done something like this before, so we're going to see how it works. So the first step, obviously, is going to be opening this thing. So let's see if we can pull that off. To watch how smart I am at figuring things out, i.e. not. So I have never seen any insect display case set up like this, where each of the sides to it is like this, and that fell, and then held together with these little pieces with the screws. It's really weird. It's hard to take apart. Makes me think that this was designed in a factory or something like that and kind of mass produced as opposed to being made by an individual for a teaching collection or something like that. But let's examine the condition of these insects. So I figured that before I started taking these guys out of their casing, I would examine them underneath my macro lens to see if I can detect anything any damage or something like that that would potentially spread to other specimens. For instance, mold or borer beetle damage, things like that. So let's take a closer look. So this right here is a praying mantis of some sort. It looks like a tropical one. I know we don't have any that are this big in the United States. Very fearsome looking claws there. Not want to be a little bug coming up against that thing. And then over here we've got a beetle, maybe a carrion beetle. Can't really tell. The antennae are weird looking. I'll have to take that one out and look at it in more detail later. This is a really pretty looking beetle. I think this one doesn't appear to have any damage on the top. Hopefully we can salvage it. This is a leaf-footed bug here. You can tell that by the shape of the legs and also by the general body shape. It's kind of similar to a stink bug. This one isn't particularly pretty, but it probably is salvageable. Then this is an interesting bug. Very long back legs, long abdomen, and then long thorax, and long head with long eyes. A very long bug. I don't actually know what it is, although I'm guessing that it's in Arthropoda, the grasshopper and cricket family. Then over here is kind of a nondescript beetle, although, oh, that's kind of pretty. Purple. Yeah, definitely try to salvage that one. A dragonfly. This one looks very similar to a lot of our native ones, but I can't tell dragonflies apart from one another. So, I don't know. This right here is a pretty interesting looking grasshopper. Nice red legs. Doesn't look like there's any damage on it, so probably salvageable. This is a pretty cool beetle. Longhorn beetle is what I'm guessing by the length of the antenna. Really cool tarsal claws there. Nice texture on the wing case. Appears to be in good condition. And this is a very pretty scarab beetle. Nice emerald colors. Also appears to be in good condition on the top. We'll have to check the bottom. This is a very pretty looking grasshopper. I like the almost turquoise wing case or wings. Pretty cool. Nice designs on the legs as well. And right here is some sort of wasp. I'm not really sure why this was included with all these other pretty tropical looking things. I don't think there's any particular reason to keep this. Another leaf-footed bug where you can see the leaf foot, the legs that give it its name, and also got some cool texture on the thorax. Then we got the big scorpion in the middle. Don't want to touch the stinger because even though the venom is probably degraded by now, I don't want to take a chance on that. This looks cool, but I'm not sure how good it looks in a display case just because of how it's brown and really most people think of it as ugly, especially with those little eyes there and then the claws in its mouth as well as the claws on its arms that are super hairy. So this one I might try to keep in a different collection, but I don't think I'm going to include it with the little project that I'm trying to do here. We've got another dragonfly, pretty nondescript. Another dragonfly, also pretty nondescript. Grasshopper, cool yellow wings, but pretty nondescript compared to the other ones. Now this is a really cool looking beetle, I think. Kind of an emerald turquoise with orange. Definitely gonna try to keep that one. Another praying mantis. Now that's pretty strange. An insect pinhole on the upper thorax of a praying mantis. What were these people thinking? Yeah, kind of faded. I'm not so sure that this one will stay in this collection. I don't like the blue on that wing though. It's pretty cool looking. And this is another cool beetle, orange and turquoise, that goes well with this other one. Make a nice artistic statement to include the two of them together. Another nondescript grasshopper. Some sort of hymenopteron. I'm guessing a wasp. Not particularly pretty. A really ugly, crunched up praying mantis here. Don't think I'll include this one. Ground beetle, that kind of looks cool. Or it could even be a stag beetle. I would want to look closer at it to know for sure. Cool jaws. Stink bug, kind of cool. Orange, good fit with the color scheme of a lot of the other ones. Blue dragonfly, nondescript, and then this grasshopper looks really ugly. Almost looks like it's got mold or mildew on it as well. Well, we'll see what I can do with that. Okay, let's get to work. So I'll start with this mantis, I suppose. See how easily does it come out. Looks like it's pretty stuck in the cotton. This might be a delicate operation. I want to keep its legs. So that was actually easier than expected, despite the casualties like that, and that, and that, and that guy. That's only half of himself, and same with those. So yeah, there were casualties, but there are some that turned out really well. The next part is going to be figuring out what to do with them, to turn them into something that could actually be displayed on the wall with pride, as opposed to what this once was. So I doubt that anyone who knows me is surprised to find out that I am always reluctant to throw away old insects, even when they are hopelessly broken. So going through this pile of insects here is going to be a bit of a struggle for me, but let's see how this works out. First, this grasshopper is, I mean, I could put him back together, but he didn't look good to begin with, and this could have some mold on it. So I'm going to drop that into the trash can, or you can't see. That's no fun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, so on to the next one. This sucker bent a number 4 pin, the biggest I have. Earlier I said this was my favorite one. That is no longer the case. The beetle was so hard that the top of the pin went into my finger. So this is the normal head of the size 4 pin. And this is the one that broke. So you can see that part of the pin went that deep into my finger. And then we can also compare the tips of an unused pin compared to the pin that I tried to use on this beetle. This one is significantly bent. Got her done the second time. Well, that's the conclusion of this video. Hopefully I'll make another one chronicling the conclusion of this project over the next couple days.